And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Chaos Incarnate. I'm your host, LKO, and today we're going to be running through some of your hot takes. I asked you to send them in, be it Beyblade or just anything in general, and you all happily obliged. Now, let's go ahead and make that oh-so-painful transition from 2 dimensions to 3. Okay, and we're here. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with our first hot take of the day. Let's take a look. Let's go bottom to top. So we've got Poké-Nerd to start with Pokemon is better. I mean, if you prefer it. Not really sure that's much of a hot take. Pokemon had, for a long time, I'm pretty sure it still does, a much bigger pop cultural grasp, and opinions are subjective. So if you like Pokemon better, up to you. Let's see. Alright. And the Velvet Horizons with, Ryuga was a fraud. Oh boy, so this one's kind of double-sided. We've got Season 1, Ryuga, Metal Fight, where he had Lightning Eldrago. Lightning Eldrago was fueled by the Dark Power, and its whole main gimmick was it could essentially soul suck any opponent it faced, and thus it would get progressively stronger. So, for Season 1 Ryuga, I can kind of see where he's coming from, because, well, yes, Ryuga did train. It's evident that that stolen power thing was a major benefactor to his winning streak. As for Season 2, that was just sheer dedication. He trained and forced the dark power out of himself. As for Season 3, while the Star Fragment did help, again, it was just sheer absolute dedication, and Kenta even went out of his way to highlight that. So, yes and no. Alright. Next up, we've got Bladerdom, and this is a long one, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it out. Oh boy. Robin should have taken Wizard Arrow instead of Hell's Scythe, and Scythe should have been given to Sigrid as originally intended. So when Sigrid is in her I need to get stronger era, she scraps it and builds Vice Tiger off of it. This would allow Tenka to join Persona with Samurai Caliber, while Persona has Wizard Spell, Drawn Dagger, and Knight Lance, and they all upgrade their bays to UX. I put Wizard Spell because we don't have a second Wizard Bay, and that makes me mad. Well, technically we have 3, but anyway. Robin taking Wizard Arrow, I can kind of see why, but a protagonist with a stamina type, that's odd. Like, Beyblade protagonists fall into 2 categories when it comes to Bay types. It's either attack or balance. And 90% of the time, it's usually attack. And Robin falls into the whole balance type category. Jackson falls into attack. Multi, if you want to include her, covers the defense and stamina type side character archetype thing. So I get where you're coming from though, because yeah, I can kind of see what you're going with, and God, I need to think properly. I can kind of see it. I mean, I don't think we ever get to know who built Vice Tiger, a balance type that could cover all areas. It is so all-encompassingly overpowered to the point that the only way to actively beat her is just to be stronger. Like, there's no workaround to that other than you just have to get good. But, I'd say Hell's Scythe is actually a pretty good pick for Robin. Like, I can kind of see, well, he technically already had Wizard Arrow because of the whole retool situation with Strikehawk, but, So, I can see where you're coming from, but I'm gonna have to disagree on that one because a protagonist with a stamina type just doesn't work in my eyes. Okay, now, next up we've got Dade's World with Obsidian Shell could have been good with an upgrade like a weight mold increase. If not, then a brand new evolution that's actually better than Shell. And also, I'm pretty sure Obsidian Shell is better than Tackle Goat and Shelter Drake. Also, Tackle sucks. Okay, so basically Obsidian Shell could have been better, but it's not. Alright, I can see where you're coming from on that. I mean, it's got a really good shape to it. I will concede to that. It's good for bursting, it's good for destabilizing opponents. Surprisingly good against stamina types. I've seen this thing outspin so many bays that it shouldn't. But it is on the lighter side, so yeah, it is kind of easy to knock out if you can get the good hits in. Like, its main weakness is either low-setting defense types or attack types that just ignore the whole ramp shape thing. As for Tackle Goat, I haven't actually used it. Pretty sure I gave my Tackle Goat away. As for Shelter Drake, I believe Obsidian Shell is heavier. It might have a better shape too. Like it's better for the whole upper attack thing. But Shelter Drake kind of has that whole Flash Sagittario like oval thing going on there. So Shelter Drake has arguably higher potential than Obsidian Shell, but at the same time, it's also vastly lighter. So yeah, I agree. H. Zorar King 30 said, Hell's Chain and Leon Fang are the coolest Beyblades. If you disagree, you're just wrong. There is no such thing as an objective opinion. Well, there is. That is not one of them. You want to talk coolest buckaroni. Have you seen Impact Drake before? Anyway. Fan09 said, why some of the Kurosu family sucks, except for Jackson Cross. Well, I mean, you kind of answered your own statement there. Like, because he is the exception. Like, it's the whole point of Beyblade X, Blader X, Common X, and stuff like that. He is the exception. He's the outside rule. Like, I have not seen an anime glaze one of its own characters this hard since Satoru Gojo and Yujiro Hanma. Like, I have not seen a character get glazed this hard in their own series. I have now, though. Now, Cammy D. Melian said, Rhino Horn is unnecessarily hated. Okay. This one I can kind of understand. Yeah, I can kind of understand this, because design-wise, it's pretty basic, but the recolors are cool. Like, the purple one. Purple one I like. The shape-wise, I see what they were going for with the whole compact thing, you know, all that power into one space. Because principle in physics, if it's a smaller surface area, it'll usually apply a lot more pressure. Like, you would have the same amount of pressure, but if it's spread out over an open area, it's not going to do nearly as much damage. But if you focus it all down to a much smaller point, it right through. Hence why Rhino Horn is so good on 260, because it just focuses that power into 2 points, which Rhino Horn is able to do very well, thus making it much better for attack than it ever was for defense. Yeah. Though I don't actually recall seeing too much hate for Rhino Horn, so that might just be a me thing. So yeah, I would say I agree, though, again, haven't seen that much hate for it. Evelyn and Dar said, Cisco/Silas should have been the Season 2 protagonist, or at the very least have it transition from Vault to Cisco, as he was originally intended to be the MC and is now just a side character. Also, Lance Knight is goated, I don't care. Yeah, I could take a leave, Lance Knight, but, Cisco becoming the main character, that part, I could definitely understand. Kind of. I mean, he did sort of have a main character-esque thing going on for a little bit, like, with him traveling around the world and blading in different dojos and stuff. Oh, man, that's a bit of a tough one to think about. I mean, we already saw that he kind of peaked in the God series in a way. Like, it's almost like he's aware of the fact he's a side character in a way. It's weird. It's hard to describe because the way he acts in certain ways, it's almost like he's stopped trying to surpass certain bladers, like against Free, for example. Like, that was Princess. Anyway, it feels like after his loss to Free in the Sparking team battles, him joining up with Free was probably just like him silently conceding to the fact that he would never be able to beat him no matter how hard he tried. Ow. Yeah, I could say Cisco could probably have, like, if the Burst Saga took on, like, a slightly darker turn, like it started exploring more of the underworld of blading and stuff like that, you know, like Bay gangs, underground Bay battles, underground rings, etc. I could definitely see Cisco being that kind of main protagonist, but I can't see him being the conventional protagonist that Beyblade is used to, though most of them are pretty different as it is, so do with that what you will. Now, our final hot take is from Bladerdom, again, People hate on lightweight bays because the meta is filled with big backs. You damn right. We should bring back our light kings. Ghost Circle, AERA, I don't know what that means. Rhino Horn, Cobalt Drake, and Whale Wave. Wait a minute, hold on. What was... How... I'm sorry, hang on. Let's see, Whale Wave... Whale Wave's at 38 grams. How is that considered light? Or, hang on. Let me check. Cobalt Drake... Yeah, Cobalt Drake, even though it's gotten lighter, is still like, what? About 37 grams, I think. So, yeah. What do you mean light kings? Like, Ghost Circle, absolutely a lightweight, easily one of the lightest. If it was heavier, it would essentially just be like a more stamina-oriented Rhino Horn. Speaking of which, Rhino Horn, again, it is light, but it's powerful on the right parts. If you get it on 260 and you get it on, let's say, level, insanely busted. Because, I've seen the thing act as essentially a sledgehammer, and it breaks bays pretty consistently. Let me think. I mean, maybe you meant Cobalt Dragoon, and even then, Cobalt Dragoon's not so light that it's unusable. I mean, it's actually closer to the weight range of something like Drawn Dagger or the original Drawn Sword, so that's not bad. Plus, with the shape and just how aggressive it can get, Cobalt Dragoon is still at least half decent. Not to mention Elevate. So, there's that. But if you want to talk about Light Kings, look at the remakes. Because you will not find anything lighter than that. Even the Burst remakes, like Victory Valkyrie, heaviest of the remakes, is only 33 grams. That is... I believe when I measured them from the 25th anniversary set, see, Dragoon was 28, Pegasus was 30, Valkyrie, well, Pegasus was 31, Valkyrie was 33, Drawn Sword was 34. So yeah, if you want to talk light kings, the remakes are the place to start, especially the Bakuten remakes. Oh god, how much did Dronzer weigh? It was just 29 grams, right? But yeah, Beyblade X is a game where almost anything can win, unless it's a remake. In which case, then, well, actually, even remakes can win. I've seen it happen. Like, I've seen Storm Pegasus take down much higher bays, one of my older tournaments. So yeah, I can kind of agree with that, but I mean, the competitive meta is always going to focus on the heavier stuff, so there's not really much you can do about that. Like, Drawn Strike, very recent example. What, 41, 42 grams for the blade alone, which is insane compared to the prior Drawn bays, which were like 35 to 36. So, yeah, the meta is always going to focus on the heavier stuff, but I can definitely vibe with getting some lighter stuff, especially with, you know, the remakes, retools, and stuff like that, Hasbro exclusives. If you look at all the crossover bays, like the Marvel ones or the Star Wars ones, those are usually pretty light by comparison, with some exceptions. I think Optimus Primal is heavier than Shark Edge. I'm trying to remember, what was another one? Never mind. But yeah, I agree, but again, the meta is always going to lean towards the big back side of things. And that's all of them. Let's go ahead and go back to the other side. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you all on the next one. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye.